Welcome back to Radio Taiwan International. You're listening to Geek Out. Now, normally I would be saying, what's your cup of tea? What tickles your fancy? But this particular month, we are covering a very special feature of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Now, the last we saw our adventurers, played by Joey, Amanda, Hannah, and Mary Ann of our very own RTI crew, they had just arrived at the house where they are supposed to retrieve a tome or a book that they would know when they saw. Let's see how they do.
Well, that must be the one. He did say we'd know it when we saw it.
The house is ramshackle. The paint is chipping. The wood looks a little bit rotted, and all the windows are dark. Looks to be about 2.5 stories. 2 stories, 2 main stories with that little triangular roof on it. Fairly grand.
Well,
if it were in its prime.
I mean, there's no way that this is going to be good, so let's just get it over with.
So you approach. You notice that there are 2 children in the front yard.
Oh, no. Are they spooky children or are they normal children?
They are very spooky. In
oh,
fact,
dear.
The moonlight kind of goes through them.
I'm going to throw something at him.
Are you actually going to do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to pick up a rock and throw it at him.
The 2 of them seem to be playing with, stuff.
I thought they were staring at us.
And the rock goes sailing through them.
Yeah.
And they stand up and turn around, and now they are staring at you.
Oh, dude, what have you done?
Man.
Great news, guys. They're incorporeal, so I say we just keep going.
So the little girl goes, "Hey, that's not nice."
I'm very sorry. I didn't see you there. And this rock was bothering me. And I'll roll deception. Although it's a 17.
Wow.
It's a 19.
And the little boy is like, "Oh, okay.
It shouldn't work.
Can you let us back in our house now?
Can you show me where a really cool book is?
We have lots of books in the library."
Are there like a
distinctive one?
Yeah. Any
Distinctive is too big of a word for me.
Very
Which book best?
He just repeats what he said. There's lots of books in the library, and the library is really big. We're not allowed in there, though.
Who stops you?
Our parents.
Are they home?
Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We've been locked outside for a while.
Kiera, why don't you open the door?
Why does it have to be me? You're.
Because you're brave and strong, and you love helping children, don't you?
Why don't we ask the little boy to lead us to the door?
Oh, that's a good idea. Hey, Junior, why don't you open the door for us?
He's locked out.
I'm not allowed.
Why not?
Well, Mom and Dad have lots of rules. And then he starts whispering to the little girl. The little girl says, "Shh, you're not supposed to tell them that."
Shall we call CPS? You guys have a social worker?
You guys can roll persuasion and or any other ability skill that you
What
have.
about intimidation?
You can do that as well.
Did you know what happens to kids who lie? Bad kids? Bad kids like you who are liars to strangers on the road?
Asmo.
All right, hey, you know what? You're persuasive. Why don't you tell
Yeah,
them?
why don't you try?
Why don't you do
face
something?
looks
How about-
funny.
You look funny, too. And I bet you smell like farts.
Tinder tries his best to push Asmo away. Hey, kid, how about I sing you a song?
Oh, brother.
Can I do
Okay.
performance? Can I roll for performance?
Yes, you can.
I got 3 + 7, 10. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round.
What's a bus?
Round and
Just ask
the
him to tell
moms
us
on
the
the bus
rules.
go shh, shh, shh. Don't ask questions. Just
No,
sing
no,
along.
that's not it. The moms on the bus say, what are the rules?
Yeah, what are the rules? What are the
rules?
rules? Tell us.
Would anyone else like to talk to the children?
Let's see. Do I have any?
The little girl is petting Tiny.
Oh, 0. Oh, be petted. I'm purring.
Yes.
My persuasion's like -1. I don't think that would be a good idea.
My insight is pretty good, but I don't...
You rolled insight.
If you can tell what they're thinking.
13 plus a 6. That's 19 insight.
That's pretty good.
So,
You can tell that, they are children and they are playing, but they are deeply frightened
okay.
of disobeying.
Mother and father.
Well, I do understand that. I have an Asian mom. So.
And as quickly as they appeared, they disappear.
Oh man! All right. Clearly, something bad news is in there. The parents are not so good. The kids have been left unsupervised. So,
Kick down the door.
yeah, let's.
I was
see.
gonna suggest we look to see if there's any other less obvious entrances.
You want to break a window?
I'll fly around the house. Why don't we all
Drop
do a
him in.
perception check?
Okay.
and
Okay.
see- or an
Do
investigation check and see if we can find another less obvious route.
5.
18
Nice.
Nice.
I got.
plus 3.
Ooh.
What'd you get?
I got 16. That's plus. You said perception, right? 4. So that's 20.
Yeah, I got a 4.
There's plenty of windows,
Mm.
and there is a back door leading to a garden,
Oh, there's a back door.
in
don't wanna
which
get-
really only grow black roses.
How valuable are those?
Do you want to try picking one?
Don't do it, Asmo.
You can see it on my face.
It's not
As we're
worth
just
the
like
gold.
slowly, everything is worth gold. I always slowly descending to think about picking a rose. Okay, I'm not gonna. I poke the rose with my glaive.
The
I just-
rose
I brush the bush.
sways with the poke of the glaive. It just kind of sways back and forth on its stem.
I cut one off.
It
you
falls
cut
to
one
the
off?
ground
Mhm.
and turns to ash.
Oh,
I told you not to touch it.
I didn't touch it.
Okay. Well, I mean, it would have been bad if you did.
Why don't you touch it?
No.
Tiny.
Yeah, I'll touch it.
Oh yeah!
Are you really touching it?
No. No, I'm not that dumb. I'm pretty
Alright,
dumb, but not that
Kiera,
dumb.
Which one of these entrances feels best to you?
The back door.
Okay. I will go through the door because I, as a barbarian, I have something called Danger Sense, which means I have advantage on dexterity saving threats when something that I can see is about to.
So you should be the meat wall. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't want to be.
Oh, all right.
Just a sec.
The door swings open.
It's a good thing.
The hinges are old,
Mm.
but otherwise you pass through safely.
Sick.
Is everybody going in or just
Yeah.
Asmo?
Let's go in. I'm going in. I'm following.
I'm already looking.
Asmo finds himself standing in a kitchen. Kind of a servants will be working in this kitchen in order to supply, food and beverage to the rest of the house.
So we want the library.
Yeah.
So I could really care less about this kitchen.
Finally, someone with
let's-
a good sense of funds. Let's go.
Let's look for this library.
Pass through here to the next door.
And leads you without event into a dining room.
Okay.
I should say dining hall.
Very big.
It is a table that seats maybe 12 comfortably, and there are paintings on the walls, all kind of overgrown with mold and mildew. You know what happens
Ew.
to houses.
Do we see the kids' photos?
Absolutely.
Portraits?
Okay. That's
There's a couple of family portraits. Your very classical.
Mhm.
Everyone's standing there, very stiffly painted pictures.
How many in the family?
4.
Ooh, what do mom and dad look like?
Stern.
And what are their names if they're on the paintings?
No painting. There's no names on the painting.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Okay.
paintings.
Yeah, it's not Instagram.
Well,
Or hashtag.
sometimes, like on the frame, you have like the name of like the lord
Oh,
or
is that
lady or
right?
something like that. Yeah, like if they're of
So-
great acclaim. Actually, could we roll a history to see if we recognize any of these faces?
You're welcome to do that.
If they're important enough to have this much money,
If
and like
anyone
a
would
big
like to
fancy
roll-
house,
Perception, you can do that as well.
I'll do the perception instead. I got a nat 20.
Wow.
Nice.
You can see that the eyes of every figure in
waiting for
these
that.
paintings are following you.
I don't bring it up. I do not bring it up because I don't want these other 3 to quit this and not go through with it. I keep that information to myself. Are they following one of us in particular or all 3 of us?
All of you.
Let's find this library. I want to find.
Let's do it.
Want to find book. Read.
find
Can't
book.
read, but want to see book.
Yeah.
You proceed through the dining hall into the foyer.
Can
The
I-
craftsmanship is really something.
I was going to say, can I ask a question as a very greedy person?
Yes.
Like, this house is in disrepair, but it does seem like they had a lot of money. Is there anything?
We can loot.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, what state
Well, for
Is there
example,
anything like left over that seems like it's in good condition? Because you mentioned the kitchen would have been a really nice kitchen. We just walked through the dining room. So I'm wondering, like, does this house look like it has been looted before? Does it look like everything was in place?
everything
people
was
are
in
gone?
place, and people have not. Nothing has moved in this house for
Oh.
a very long time.
Like a thick layer of dust, or like the canvases over to protect the furniture?
Not as if they left it,
Uh-huh.
but
As
simply
if they
as if
disappeared.
they disappeared.
Everybody got raptured, and then this has just stayed
Ah.
the same.
Basically, that silverware was silver.
I go back and I take some silver. After I leave the room
Yeah,
last.
I can melt this down.
Absolutely, I could just sell it.
There's candlesticks and things also made of solid
Absolutely,
silver.
I've started. I
Alright.
made a bag already that I've got of
just like
clanking around.
clanking,
It's
clanking.
like-
So much for stealth.
I already have disadvantage on stealth. I do not care.
Tinkle, tinkle, clank, clank everywhere that Asmo
Yeah.
goes.
There's no need to go through the back door if you're gonna be clanking around.
You could. You know what? I'll leave it in a pile right here and grab it before I leave. Does that make you feel better?
Yes, thank you.
You leave it by the front door since you are
Created
now
a nice bag, a bindle of silver.
in the foyer where there are two cascading stairways
Oh,
that lead
like
up to
the
the
grand
second level.
staircase.
Beauty and the
grand
Beast type
staircase.
stuff.
Exactly.
Okay.
On the other side of the foyer, there is another arched doorway, and underneath the staircase is a third French door.
So there's 2 more doors that we haven't opened.
Right. Libraries aren't generally on the second floor.
Why don't you book it on the first floor and
Book
I'll
it.
fly
I like
up
that.
to see, because I can just fly up on the top
Oh,
and see if I
yeah.
can see anything down the hallways that might be helpful to us, just to
Yeah.
get a vibe for where we should go.
Okay.
Okay.
Tiny sees a parlor of sorts. It's quite grand, all very nicely upholstered furniture, carved with claw feet and stuff. There are more paintings in here, all of which are looking at you.
All
now
right.
you
And now
know.
I
Now
now
you
I
know
can
for
tell
sure.
because my
And one
perception's high now.
big old fireplace. That's
Okay.
it's gorgeous. This carved mantle.
Okay.
And above the fireplace is one very large portrait done of a man sitting in a chair. Not the same man as in the picture, the family portrait.
What?
Okay.
Up on the second floor, you see a landing. It is a very nice landing. There's a couple of,
Upholstered chairs,
ottomans
a nice
and-
seat,
Mhm.
old dusty
Yeah,
glass of
more-
wine.
yep, that kind of thing. And there are multiple doors leading off of it. There is a French style grand doors right in front, and a couple of smaller side hallways with smaller doors.
The French doors, are they made out of glass?
No.
No? Can I put my ear to it? Is there a sound that I hear down any of these doors as its perception?
What did you roll?
I rolled a 21.
Anytime you touch something,
Mhm.
you hear whispers.
Are there any words made out?
Not really.
This
It's
is
just-
another secret for myself because I don't want them to quit. This is
Yo, Asmo, what do you see up there?
dust. Just dust.
Dust?
Yeah, lots of dust.
All right, then.
Yo, guys, these people are looking at us.
Oh my God, really?
Damn, you are right.
Finally,
I had no idea.
I mean, it is a
This
haunted
place.
house. I did kind of expect this.
Wow.
there are doors to, to either side. One that
Okay.
seems to lead, if you are inclined to orientation, back to the kitchens,
Okay.
and the other that goes to the other side.
Well, there's so many doors. There is only one coming off the parlor. I could check it out while I'm in the area.
Yeah.
So Tiny goes through the set of doors, the far set of doors, and
Call out if you find the library.
finds himself in a library.
Ah, perfect. Yes, I found it.
All
It
right.
is quite nice. It is it's got, that rolling little staircase ladder thingy
Oh, nice.
to access. I've always wanted one of those.
Oh, yeah.
Right, to access the higher shelves, and these shelves are packed to the brim with volumes and volumes and volumes of books.
How are you ever going to find that specific tome?
I could make a roll as a smuggler, in my experience, where people usually keep their most expensive books.
Go ahead.
Okay. Just a flat roll, which means I don't add anything to it, or do I add something to it?
You're welcome
In your
to
opinion.
add a history
History?
or investigation, whichever one's higher.
A 16.
You've robbed plenty of places,
Not that I've told these guys about that, but yeah.
so you know
In
where
my
they keep
experience.
expensive books.
Uh-huh.
Well, the ones that are the most expensive would be behind a locked, a cabinet. You do see a glass cabinet
Okay.
that does have a lock on its little door on the front, and you do see a mahogany desk.
Mm-hmm.
Very grand desk with a matching ornate upholstered chair behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the master's desk.
Yeah, it's got to be that guy. The guy in the portrait that stared at me.
You know who that is?
Do I know who that is?
You haven't seen it. It's over the fireplace in the parlor.
I haven't seen
Oh,
it.
go back into the
Yeah,
parlor.
check out the parlor.
No, I can't say that I do.
His
know
eyes
who
are
this
also
is.
looking at you.
Yeah. But I do know that he's looking at me.
You're
Wanna
welcome to
roll?
roll.
You
Can I
can
roll
suggest a
too?
history.
Yeah. 20.
Ooh.
Oh, 21.
You know. Did you roll a 20 on the die?
19 and then plus 2.
He is very, very pale. Like Snow White levels of pale.
Oh,
Like a
is he a
vampire.
changeling too?
And his hair is inky black. And his eyes, who have been following you around this whole time, are a very dark shade of red. His hands that are clasped in his lap have fingernails that are long and kind of gross.
Yeah, so I don't really know who this is exactly. But judging by all those telltale signs, not a good
human.
place to be.
How are his teeth?
He's not smiling.
Of course he's not.
Of course he's not.
So with a 19, you definitely recognize that this is undead in the photo.
Oh. So as soon as I see that, just to be prepared for whatever that's going to happen, can I use aid? Aid
In the
lasts
meantime.
8 hours.
Okay, that's a good one.
And I can cast it on multiple people. Bolster your allies with toughness and resolve. Choose up to 3 creatures within range. Each target gets hit point maximum and current hit points increase by 5. for the
So
duration.
everybody, where it says HP, maximum hit points, add 5 to that number. Just put +5.
For me too?
I
For
don't have
yours.
HP.
Is that the current point?
Yes, current hit points.
Okay.
There should be a box that says temp hit points,
It's
temporary,
down below. Yeah.
+5.
+5.
Okay.
So, Asmo, who's been rummaging, which
Okay.
one are you doing first? The glass cabinet or the master's desk?
Do an Arcana check on the glass cabinet first, and then it would be glass cabinet and desk.
Okay.
So I had an 8.
Right.
So I don't think I know any magic about this.
You have no idea whether or not this cabinet would have any magic associated with it.
Okay.
But you do see within the dusty glass that there are very well-made books, some of them fat enough to be called tomes.
Okay.
There's also shiny metallic objects and crystals, things that might have some amount of magical purpose. You can roll a sleight of hand at disadvantage, meaning you roll twice and take the lower number.
Come on, I'm gonna try it. I got an 8. Son of a. And a 20.
good job.
But it's the
No, you
lowest
gotta
Yeah,
take the
of
you
the
lowest
two.
one and
Oh.
disadvantage.
I have +5 sleight of hand, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
13 unlocks the glass cabinet.
Ooh. Okay.
Just barely,
As
maybe.
those eyes like glint from over at the desk.
Shinies.
Without event. The doors swing open
They
with
just
like
open. Okay, cool.
Okay.
and then you do get to take a look at all the shiny trinkets
Why
inside.
don't you carefully unload those, and we'll take a look at them out here in the light.
All right. I put it on the desk, presuming we might investigate the desk shortly after.
Yeah, I'll investigate the desk while they do that. So I got a 12 investigation on the desk. You said it was locked also, right? Or
There
not?
is a drawer. There are multiple drawers, I should say, many of which are not locked, and they contain, your standard writing implements and ink and paper, a few important-looking documents. But
Any names on those documents for like who owned the house?
did you try to read them?
Yeah.
Would you please make a wisdom saving throw?
What?
Oh boy. How's it 3?
Well, you failed the wisdom saving. Not only can you not read the documents, they're like very strangely blurry, and the words shift around as you read them. You became insanely frightened of what is on this paper.
So what everyone saw was me just like, I put down the paper, and then as fast as you've ever seen Asmo move, I like ran just out of the room.
Yeah.
Just like I didn't say anything. It was just like
Oh,
gone.
that's not a good sign.
Full speed out of the room.
No.
A frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight.
So I ran out of the room.
The creature cannot willingly move closer to the source of its fear.
I'm out
But
of
you
the
do
room.
get to make saves after to see if you can break your fear.
What
So-
are this?
What's on the paper?
So, Kiera, would you like to try to read this piece of paper?
Do I want to? I have comprehend languages. Can I use that?
You're welcome to.
Okay. Do I need to throw a die?
No, just cast comprehend languages. Are you sure you want to use it? You only have one charge.
I mean, what else do you have under that category?
Why don't you do an Arcana check first to see if there's a spell on this or if it's actually the language? Arcana is how well you know magic,
Okay.
then that way
0.
you don't like waste it. But worth a try. You could still roll high.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
18.
See?
You know there's a spell on this piece of paper.
Oh.
So it's not the language.
So there's nothing I can do because I'm not a magic caster.
To try to get rid of the spell?
Yeah.
No, unfortunately.
Yeah.
With an 18, you know that you require a special spell to dispel that magic.
Right.
But anyway, that's why it is useful to, before you use your spell, if you could try to get information about it first. So
Okay.
even if you have a low stat,
Okay.
getting any amount of information for everybody here, like
Okay.
before you use one of your resources,
Right.
Dun, dun, dun.
worth trying so you don't accidentally like use your comprehend languages, but then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. Asmo isn't here anymore.
Oh, I'm
So-
still here. I'm just outside.
Maybe
Right
we
outside the door.
should.
I'm right outside the door.
Maybe we should ignore the spooky paper for now. And
There are other drawers to
Yeah.
this desk,
what
one
also
of which is locked.
also what we got out of the cabinet. Does Tinder Rig know anything about any of these books, knickknacks?
There are a few vials of swirling liquid.
Oh dear.
They're bright cherry red liquids. They actually look quite nice.
Can someone bring
Kind of-
stuff outside?
Sparkly, it swirls, and it's kind of glowy, and it swirls with no movement, just by itself.
Potions.
There are 3 books that appear to be blank.
What?
3 scrolls that have some amount of writing on them. The deed to the house.
Well, that's important.
A few other
Okay.
deeds. And of the trinkets, like the crystals and things, they do just appear to be crystals and things, like a little figurine carved out of quartz, that kind of little tiny globe that rotates on its own accord.
Okay.
Trinkets.
I could sell.
But you are standing outside the door.
I failed. I got it out one. I'm still scared of that paper.
So there is a locked drawer. Let's see.
Is there anything strange about the deeds?
Would you like to try to read them?
Oh boy. You know what happens when you try to read stuff in this house.
Well, I saw what happened to Asmo.
Maybe let's first ask if we can find out if there are also spells and those stuff.
Oh, good idea.
Dude.
You can roll Arcana to see if anything is actually
Magical.
magical.
9 + 2, 11.
There
On
are
the
some
deeds?
things that might be magical in here.
Some things that might be magical out of all the
Aw,
items
man.
you just named.
Can we is this like a once a roll thing? Like I can only
You
roll
can
that
do
once.
it like once, say, every few minutes within
Like-
reason.
Yeah, you want to like be a good sport. It's
Yeah.
not as fun if like everybody does the exact
Just
same thing.
machine
like,
gun
one after
Arcana
the
checks.
other.
Okay.
Well, like, Tinder understands that Asmo likes trinkets, but I understand that the deeds are probably worth more because it's the whole house.
To be clear, Asmo likes money, not trinkets. That's
So
that's-
I like to keep the deeds.
Okay. So you fold them up and you
I
put
do.
them in your pouch.
Pouch. And look,
For
shiny
you.
liquid.
Kind of just want to try and go for that locked drawer with the sleight of hand.
Smash it.
14 sleight of hand for trying this locked drawer.
The minute that your tool that you're using for picking enters the keyhole of locked drawer, make a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity. Oh, +7 dexterity, so that's what, 24?
This drawer, while maintaining its integrity, explodes.
Damn.
And I get out of the way.
There is a force, like a wall of force that explodes outward from this keyhole.
Okay.
And with that extraordinarily high dex saving throw, you manage to, cat-like, land on your feet.
All right.
What was
And
that?
you do not take any damage.
Okay,
from-
guys, don't touch the drawer.
So is the tome they're searching for in the drawer? Will Asmo ever be unafraid of the piece of paper? Find out next week on the next episode of this very special Geek Out feature of Dungeons & Dragons 5e on Radio Taiwan International.